Scrum is not a methodology, it is a lightweight framework. It helps people, teams, and organizations generate value. They do this through adaptive solutions for complex problems. Think of it like this: Scrum provides the basic structure. It gives you the rules of the game, but your team decides how to play that game best. It's about empirical process control. This means you learn by doing. You inspect your work and adapt based on what you find. This approach is crucial in a world where requirements change rapidly. Scrum is designed for that very uncertainty, helping teams thrive. The core purpose of Scrum is to deliver usable products in short cycles. We call these cycles sprints. This allows for rapid feedback and course correction. Instead of waiting months or years to see if you're on the right track, Scrum tells you quickly. It helps you fail fast, learn fast, and therefore succeed faster. The focus is always on delivering the highest value work first. This ensures that even if a project is cut short, the customer has received something genuinely useful. It is about maximizing the value of the work done by the team. This iterative approach fundamentally changes how we approach product development and project management. Scrum is built upon pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency means everyone involved has a clear view of what is happening. This includes progress, challenges, and the work itself. Inspection means frequently checking the product being built and how the team is working. This isn't about finding fault, it's about identifying opportunities for improvement. Adaptation means making changes based on these inspections. If something isn't working, the team changes it. If a new opportunity arises, the team can pivot to seize it. These pillars are not optional, they are the bedrock of successful Scrum implementation. So what does Scrum actually look like in practice? It involves a small dedicated team. This team works in sprints, which are fixed-length events, usually 2 to 4 weeks long. During each sprint, the team aims to create a done, usable, and potentially releasable product increment. There are specific roles, events, and artifacts that guide the team, but these are not rigid prescriptions. They are designed to be flexible and to empower the team to figure out the best way to work. Scrum helps you cut through complexity and deliver results. It's a journey of continuous improvement. The world today moves at an incredible pace. Markets shift, technologies evolve, and customer expectations change almost overnight. Traditional project management approaches, often called waterfall, struggle in this dynamic environment. These older methods rely on extensive upfront planning. They assume that requirements can be fully defined at the start and will remain stable. This is rarely the case for complex projects. The result, projects that are late, over budget, and deliver products that no longer meet the customer's needs. We saw this time and time again, which is why we looked for a better way. Scrum is required because it embraces change. It acknowledges that we don't know everything at the start of a complex endeavor. Instead of fighting change, Scrum uses it as an advantage. Short development cycles or sprints allow teams to get feedback early and often. This means they can adapt their plans based on real-world learning, not just assumptions. This agility is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity for survival and success in most industries. Organizations that can respond quickly to market changes will outperform those that cannot. Scrum provides the framework to build this responsiveness. Consider the software development world where Scrum first gained widespread traction. Software projects are notoriously difficult. Requirements are often vague or change frequently. Technologies advance rapidly. The waterfall approach often led to disaster. Teams would spend months, even years, building something only to find it was obsolete or unwanted by the time it was delivered. Scrum provides a way to break down this complexity. It allows teams to deliver working software in small increments. This reduces risk and ensures that the product is constantly aligned with user needs and business goals. This principle applies far beyond software to any complex work. Therefore, the need for Scrum stems from the inherent uncertainty of innovative work. If you are building something new, something that hasn't been done before, you cannot plan everything perfectly. You need a way to navigate the unknown. Scrum provides that navigational system. It helps teams to inspect their progress regularly and adapt their course accordingly. This empirical approach helps organizations to reduce waste, improve predictability over short cycles, and ultimately deliver more value to their customers. It's about working smarter, not just harder, in a world that demands constant evolution. One of the most significant advantages of Scrum is its ability to deliver value to the customer faster. By working in sprints, teams produce a potentially shippable product increment at the end of each cycle. This means the customer doesn't have to wait until the very end of a long project to see results. They get working features early and can provide feedback. This continuous delivery of value keeps customers engaged and satisfied. It also means the business can start realizing a return on investment much sooner. This speed is not about rushing, it's about focused effort and eliminating waste. Improved product quality is another key benefit. Scrum achieves this through several mechanisms. The regular inspection of the product during sprint reviews allows for early detection of defects or misunderstandings. The definition of done, a shared understanding of what it means for work to be complete, ensures a consistent level of quality. Furthermore, the iterative nature allows for refinement. Each sprint provides an opportunity to enhance existing features and incorporate feedback, leading to a better final product. Teams are empowered to own quality, which is a powerful motivator. Scrum also fosters greater transparency and communication. All information about the project, the product backlog, progress during the sprint, any impediments, is made visible to everyone involved. Daily Scrum meetings ensure the team is aligned and aware of any roadblocks. Sprint reviews provide a platform for stakeholders to see the progress and provide input. Sprint retrospectives allow the team to openly discuss what's working and what's not. This open environment builds trust and helps to resolve issues quickly. Misunderstandings are reduced when everyone is on the same page. Finally, Scrum often leads to higher team morale and productivity. Teams are self-managing and empowered to make decisions about how they do their work. This autonomy is highly motivating. The focus on collaboration and shared goals creates a strong sense of teamwork. Seeing tangible progress at the end of each sprint provides a sense of accomplishment. While Scrum can be demanding, it also creates an environment where people can do their best work and see the impact they are making. Happy teams are productive teams, and Scrum helps create the conditions for that happiness. While Scrum offers many advantages, it's not a silver bullet, and it comes with its own set of potential drawbacks. One significant challenge is that Scrum requires a high degree of commitment and discipline from the entire team and the wider organization. If team members are not fully dedicated, or if management doesn't support the Scrum values and principles, the framework can falter. For example, if the daily Scrum becomes a status report for a manager rather than a planning meeting for the team, its value is lost. This commitment can be difficult to achieve and sustain in some environments. Another potential disadvantage is the risk of scope creep, especially if the product owner is not strong or decisive. Because Scrum embraces change, it can be tempting to constantly add new features or alter requirements within a sprint. While flexibility is good, uncontrolled changes can disrupt the team's focus and prevent them from delivering a done increment. A skilled product owner is crucial for managing the product backlog effectively, prioritizing work and protecting the team from excessive changes during a sprint. Without this, sprints can become chaotic and unproductive. Scrum can also be challenging to implement correctly without experienced personnel. A good Scrum Master is vital to guide the team, facilitate events, and help remove impediments. If the Scrum Master is inexperienced or misunderstands their role, perhaps acting like a traditional project manager, they can hinder rather than help the team. Similarly, teams new to Scrum may struggle with estimation, self-management, or effective collaboration. Proper training and coaching are often necessary, which represents an initial investment of time and resources for the organization. Furthermore, the intense, iterative nature of Scrum, with its frequent meetings or events, can sometimes be perceived as overwhelming or inefficient if not managed well. If sprint planning drags on, or if daily Scrums are too long and unfocused, team members can experience meeting fatigue. The sprint retrospective, while crucial for improvement, requires honesty and a willingness to address difficult issues which some teams may find uncomfortable. Ensuring that all Scrum events are purposeful and well facilitated is key to avoiding these pitfalls and maintaining team energy and focus. Section 5. Addressing the pain points problems Scrum was built to solve. Scrum was fundamentally designed to address the failures commonly seen in traditional sequential project management approaches, particularly for complex and innovative work. One major problem was the inability to cope with changing requirements. Old methods often demanded that all requirements be frozen up front. In reality, customers often don't know exactly what they want until they see something or market conditions change. Scrum solves this by welcoming change. The product backlog is dynamic, and each sprint offers a chance to adjust priorities and incorporate new insights, ensuring the final product is relevant. Another critical issue Scrum tackles is the lack of visibility and slow feedback loops. In many traditional projects, stakeholders might not see anything tangible for months or even years. This leads to a high risk of building the wrong thing. Scrum addresses this through short sprints, at the end of which a working increment of the product is demonstrated. The sprint review ensures stakeholders see progress regularly and provide feedback. This frequent inspection makes problems visible early, when they are easier and cheaper to fix, drastically reducing project risk and wasted effort. Poor communication and siloed teams were also significant pain points. Traditional structures often led to handoffs between different departments, with each group working in isolation. This caused delays, misunderstandings, and a lack of shared ownership. Scrum promotes close collaboration within a cross-functional team that has all the skills needed to deliver the product. Daily Scrums ensure constant communication about progress and impediments. The team works together towards a common sprint goal, breaking down silos and fostering a shared sense of responsibility for the outcome. Finally, Scrum was designed to combat the problem of delivering products that provide little or no actual value to the customer, despite being on time and on budget according to an outdated plan. By focusing on delivering the highest priority features first, as determined by the product owner in collaboration with stakeholders, Scrum ensures that value is maximized. Even if the project scope changes or resources are reduced, the most important work gets done. This iterative delivery of value means the customer continuously receives useful functionality, rather than waiting for a big bang delivery that might miss the mark entirely. Section 6. Real-world obstacles, common challenges for Scrum teams. One of the most common challenges faced by Scrum teams is resistance to change, both from within the team and from the wider organization. Scrum requires a shift in mindset. People accustomed to command and control structures may struggle with self-management. Managers might find it hard to trust teams to make their own decisions. This resistance can manifest as attempts to revert to old habits, micromanagement, or a lack of genuine support for the Scrum values. Overcoming this requires patience, education, and consistent demonstration of Scrum's benefits. Another frequent hurdle is the difficulty in having a truly empowered and effective product owner. The product owner role is demanding. They must understand the customer, the market, and the business. They need to make tough prioritization decisions and be available to the team. Sometimes organizations appoint someone who lacks the authority, the vision, or the time to fulfill this role adequately. A weak product owner can lead to a poorly defined product backlog, unclear sprint goals, and ultimately a product that doesn't deliver maximum value. This is a critical point of failure. Teams often struggle with the concept of a done increment. Defining and adhering to a robust definition of done is crucial for quality. However, teams, especially when under pressure, might be tempted to cut corners or declare work done when it still has unresolved issues or lacks proper testing. This leads to technical debt and problems down the line. A strong Scrum Master and a committed team are needed to uphold the definition of done and ensure that each increment is genuinely releasable. This discipline is hard-earned but essential. Lastly, many Scrum teams face challenges with estimation and predictability, particularly in the early stages. Estimating complex work is inherently difficult. Teams may struggle to break down work into manageable pieces or to accurately forecast what they can achieve in a sprint. This can lead to overcommitment and failed sprints, which can be demoralizing. While Scrum embraces uncertainty, stakeholders often still desire predictability. Learning to estimate effectively as a team using techniques like story points and focusing on relative sizing takes time and practice. Velocity, a measure of work completed, becomes more stable over time if the team composition and sprint length remain consistent. Section 7. The Engine Room, a glimpse into Scrum roles, events, and artifacts. Scrum's power lies in its simple yet effective structure, comprising specific roles, events, and artifacts. There are 3 key roles. The product owner is accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. They manage the product backlog. The Scrum Master is a servant leader, responsible for promoting and supporting Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. They help everyone understand Scrum theory and practice. The developers are the people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint. They are self-managing. Scrum events, often called ceremonies, provide the rhythm for the team. The sprint itself is a container for all other events, a fixed time box of 1 month or less during which a done, usable, and potentially releasable product increment is created. Sprint planning initiates the sprint by laying out the work to be performed. The daily Scrum is a short 15-minute event for the developers to synchronize activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. The sprint review is held at the end of the sprint to inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog if needed. Finally, the sprint retrospective is an opportunity for the Scrum team to inspect itself and create a plan for improvements. The Scrum artifacts represent work or value. The product backlog is an emergent ordered list of what is needed to improve the product. It is the single source of work undertaken by the Scrum team. The sprint backlog is composed of the sprint goal, why, the set of product backlog items selected for the sprint, what, as well as an actionable plan for delivering the increment, how. The increment is the sum of all the product backlog items completed during a sprint and the value of the increments of all previous sprints. To be considered done, the increment must be usable and meet the Scrum team's definition of done. These roles, events, and artifacts are not arbitrary. Each element serves a specific purpose designed to foster transparency, inspection, and adaptation. For instance, the daily Scrum promotes quick communication and problem solving. The product backlog ensures clarity on priorities. The sprint review facilitates crucial feedback. When these components work together effectively, the Scrum team can navigate complexity and deliver high-value products consistently. The framework is deliberately incomplete, allowing teams to fill in the practices that work best for their specific context, encouraging continuous learning and improvement. Section 8. Gauging progress, key metrics for Scrum success. In Scrum, metrics are not about tracking individuals or fostering unhealthy competition. They are tools for the team to inspect and adapt, to understand their process, and to improve predictability for stakeholders. One key metric is velocity. Velocity is the amount of product backlog turned into an increment of product during a sprint. It's typically measured in story points or ideal days. Over time, a stable team's velocity can help in forecasting how much work they can complete in future sprints. However, it's crucial to remember velocity is a team metric, not a performance indicator for individuals, and it should not be used to compare teams. Burn down and burn up charts are also valuable visual tools. A sprint burn down chart tracks the total work remaining in the sprint backlog on a day-by-day basis. It shows the team if they are on track to meet the sprint goal. A release burn down, or product burn down chart, shows the amount of work remaining in the product backlog for a release. Burn up charts, conversely, show the amount of work completed over time. These charts provide transparency and can help identify if scope is being added or if progress is slower than anticipated, prompting necessary conversations and adjustments. Beyond these common metrics, teams might also track things like cycle time and lead time. Cycle time measures how long it takes for a product backlog item to go from in progress to done within a sprint. Lead time measures the total time from when an item is added to the product backlog until it is delivered. Shorter cycle and lead times generally indicate a more efficient flow of work. Other useful indicators can be team happiness, customer satisfaction scores, and the rate at which value is delivered to the market. The key is to choose metrics that provide actionable insights for improvement. It's important to select metrics that support the Scrum values of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Avoid vanity metrics that look good but don't drive better decisions or outcomes. The focus should always be on delivering value and continuously improving the team's process. The Scrum Master often helps the team identify and use appropriate metrics. These measures are for the team to learn and grow, enabling them to deliver increasingly more value over time. They are tools for empowerment, not instruments of control. True success in Scrum is about creating great products that customers love, with teams that are happy and sustainable. Section 9. Knowing the boundaries, when Scrum shines and when to pause. Scrum excels in environments where complexity is high, and requirements are likely to change or are not fully understood at the outset. If you are developing innovative products, tackling difficult research problems, or operating in rapidly evolving markets, Scrum provides the agility and feedback loops necessary for success. It thrives when teams need to collaborate closely, learn as they go, and adapt to new information. The empirical nature of Scrum, with its cycles of inspection and adaptation, is perfectly suited for navigating such uncertainty and delivering value incrementally. However, Scrum is not a universal solution for every type of work or every organization. If a project is extremely simple, with clearly defined stable requirements and a predictable, repeatable process, then the overhead of Scrum events and roles might be unnecessary. For example, straightforward, routine operational tasks or manufacturing processes with little variability might be better managed with simpler task management systems or lean principles focused solely on flow. Scrum is designed for complex, adaptive problems. Using it for simple, ordered problems can feel like overkill. Furthermore, Scrum may struggle or fail in organizations that are fundamentally resistant to its core values and principles. If there is no willingness to empower teams, embrace transparency, or genuinely commit to continuous improvement, then a Scrum implementation is likely to be superficial and ineffective. A culture of blame, Rigid hierarchical control or an unwillingness to allow teams to self-manage will actively undermine Scrum. In such environments, significant organizational change and leadership buy-in are prerequisites before Scrum can truly flourish. Forcing Scrum onto an unprepared or unwilling organization rarely leads to the desired outcomes. In conclusion, Scrum is a powerful framework for managing complex work and achieving agile success. It provides a structure for teams to deliver value frequently, adapt to change, and continuously improve. Its emphasis on transparency, inspection, and adaptation, supported by clear roles, focused events, and valuable artifacts, makes it highly effective for a wide range of product development and project management challenges. While it has potential drawbacks and common implementation hurdles and isn't suited for every single situation, its ability to help teams navigate uncertainty and deliver what customers truly need makes it an invaluable tool in today's fast-paced world. The key is to understand its purpose, apply its principles diligently, and adapt it wisely to your specific context.